Cornerstone Custom Cabinetry. We're going to try to, in this tape series, show you what the True32 system consists of and give you a quick tour of the entire plant here at Cornerstone. We're starting here in the showroom. We've got a 10-foot by 20-foot showroom. We're trying to demonstrate a lot of things in a small space. The advantages are you don't have to have as much to replace whenever you're in the process of updating your showroom. I've seen a lot of showrooms with tons of displays, and of course they usually typically get out of date very quickly. Here you see our door displays. This shows the stain colors, the paint colors, the door styles available. This is some of Conestoga's selection. We've got most of the stain colors here. We also offer others in most of the paint colors. As you step around, you'll see here we've got some nutmeg with white glaze cabinetry. These are what would go into a mid-range or high-end home. Typical raised panel doors with our top mount crown molding, rope mount mold applique on this one, our vintage light rail. Here we're showing one of our clipped ends. This is our objective, is to get a very traditional look with this cabinet. With this vintage clip, we can get a very traditional look out of the cabinetry without having to do a lot of additional labor with cabinet maker type of labor. We're able to use operator type labor. This is a self-contained unit that is attached to the cabinet just like this applied end is, or a raised panel applied end is. Over to your right a little bit, you'll see a commercial application. Here we've got a double-sided melamine door with a 3mm edge applied. This would be typical to a hospital, doctor's office, dentist office, any type of commercial application. This area here could be used in mid-range, high-end homes. Then you step around to the painted cabinetry. Here we've got a one-piece MDF door. This has got a conversion varnish finish on it. We also offer it with an RTF finish or rigid thermal foil. You see raised panel drawer fronts at the bottom. You see slab drawer fronts at the bottom, giving them an idea of the different configurations we can do. You see a file drawer here with the two shallow drawers above. We also have a 3-drawer configuration to the right. Here we have a pantry. At the top we've got tray dividers that you would use for pipe tin storage or pizza pan storage. Here we've got your typical pantry pack with shelf-mounted, door-mounted shelves and revolving shelves. These can be adjusted up and down. Here you see our classic applied end, very similar to the vintage end in that it's self-contained, pre-built in the shop and applied in the field. You see here it has rosette block top and bottom and an applied mold here that has a convex fluted mold look. You could also do this with just this molding, or you could also do it with flutes routed into a solid piece of cherry. Below you can see the application, and of course these both have raised panel ends also. Alright, now let's talk about a little bit of the technical aspects of a frameless cabinet. Here we've got our wall cabinet and our base cabinet in a plexiglass version, so we can demonstrate to customers exactly what the advantages and disadvantages are. You can see here a suspension block. This suspension block is doweled into two 10mm holes that are drilled during the processing. And then when you're installing your cabinetry, a steel rail is mounted all the way around the perimeter of the room wherever the cabinetry goes, and they are suspended by that steel rail by this block. The two screws on the front of this give you the ability to raise and lower that cabinet and plumb it in and out. So you can get it dead level, dead plumb, dead square every time. You can see we used a clip-on hinge. You saw me clip that off. The hinge just snaps right off of the cabinet, and then the hinge twists right out of the door. Great for remodeling later. Also good during the construction process, when they're doing the hardwood floor finishing. The hardwood floor finishers are able to clip those doors off and get them out of their way and let their sander not have anything to run and damage. Also, the plumbers can clip the doors off on the sink cabinets. Here we're looking at the base cabinet. You can see it consists of a back stretcher, a front stretcher, a mid stretcher just beneath the drawer. Of course, all of the doors clip off. Drawer system within the frameless cabinet. As far as the customer is concerned, we're giving them 20% more storage space. That's one of the things you'll stress to your customers. But the drawer consists of simply a front, a bottom, and a tailgate. You'll have approximately 7 minutes in this drawer from the saw to assembly. The drawer bottom and tailgate are made from the same material that the rest of the cabinet is made from. It's a self-closing drawer. When you get within 3 inches of the frame, it will close itself. We have full depth shelves that are adjustable in the base cabinets, and here you see our leg system. The toe kit clips off. You can see that the clips are mounted to plates knocked into a groove into the back of the toe. The metal clip slides into the plate, and then the plate snaps right on the legs, giving the customers access to that area if they need it later. And of course the legs are adjustable for height. You can just turn the leg to raise the cabinet up or turn the leg to lower the cabinet. That pretty much covers the technical aspects of a frameless cabinet and our tour of the showroom. Next we'll step into the office area and we'll kind of show you how we would go through with a customer, what we do when they come in for their initial design process. This is the office area. We bring our customers here after we've met with them in the showroom and helped them work through their design and selections of door styles, colors, and all of that. We'll come in here and we'll actually work on the design. You see here we've got a 31-inch monitor to show them exactly what their kitchen's going to look like three-dimensionally overhead. We can move around that. I also have a small 17-inch monitor to the other side that I can be viewing while they're looking at the 31-inch monitor. Here we've got a very comfortable area for them to sit, time to sit and be comfortable and not be in a hurry to get through this process. This whole process here is to give them a sense of comfort and also that we are capable of producing their cabinetry. It's to show them that the shop is capable of doing a high-end job and doing the quality of work they need. Also, you'll notice that this area has face frame cabinetry in it. This face frame cabinetry gives us a real good parallel to stand in the hallway, look down at the frameless cabinets at the end of the hall, look in here and see the face frame and see that the reveals are different and see the stark differences between face frame and frameless. Now let's leave here and go out to the shop. There we'll look at the processes from saw through assembly of the cabinetry, and we'll actually go through those processes.
Alright, we're going to start at the saw, which is the first process you always do when you get started to build the cabinets. We're going to get our material. We use our forklift like a scissors lift in this process. We'll retrieve our material here in our storage bin, and then I'm going to back it into a position that we've got predetermined with marks on the floor. These marks help me to find my location every time and where the material's in a perfect position to slide off of the forks of the forklift and onto the sliding table saw. So all I'm doing is looking for these alignment marks on the floor. Then I'll raise the forks to a level that'll work good with the saw. I actually want to tilt the material just a little bit so that the back corner of the material as it slides off the bundle doesn't scratch the melamine face. We've got some off-fall from the last few cuts of the last job that we'll cut up and use within this job. And we're going to be processing about 6 or 7 cabinets, but you'll see the parts for just 1 or 2 of them. And we'll try to actually build some cabinets. Alright, we're going to take our cut list and start at the 3/4 inch white melamine parts. All of these cabinets happen to be vanities, so they're 536 millimeters. Set the saw. And we'll get started cutting here. Our first cut is 536. We need a total of 5 rips, so we're going to get that started, and again we'll show you selected portions of that so you don't have to watch us just saw away. Alright, now we're going to make our 2 rip cuts for our 14 cabinet transfer batch. We're going to just make 2 here. Some of it we've already made and some of it we'll make after, but let you visualize how the saw runs will rip. This is what we call a dust cut. Squares your panel, get you a good smooth edge. And we make our rips. First rip we'll make using the slider. I'm just lifting up with my left hand and pushing straight forward with my right. And I'll pull this off, fall back to where I can reach it from the other side. Just slide my good rip off onto my transfer cart, and we'll just rotate this cart in a minute. Move my fence from the aft position to the fore position. Then make my second rip. And we would just proceed through the list like that throughout the cut list. Alright, now we're going to cross cut our parts to length. And our parts 672 millimeters. We rotate our parts cart and make easy access to pull those across. If you have a large transfer batch, you would have a large stack of rips there to pull from. Make a dust cut on your cross-cut length and just work through your parts. We flip the part over because it is a unfinished end. All of the interior parts, decks and stretchers and nailers and tops and bottoms all get flipped over with what we call the score side up, which is the little perforation you see made from the score blade in the panel, because all of the machines from here back, like the grooving machine, needs to be cutting on the interior side, so we want our best side down, and it'll be cutting that best side. Our double line drill is going to bore from the bottom, so it's going to be boring that best side, which will be the interior of the cabinet. You won't see any of the exterior components. They'll either have an applied end over them, or they'll be butted against another cabinet, or it'll be on the top, crown mold on top of it, or the bottom with light rail mounted to it. Now actually we're cutting 7 of each, 7 lefts and 7 rights for this transfer batch, but I'm only showing you 6 of the rights or lefts. With our system, you do have left and right panels. Alright, now we're going to make our rip cut for our adjustable shelves and a couple cross cuts. You'll notice as I make this rip cut, you'll see that from here it's hard for me to tell the location of where the panel goes, but you'll see that laser line hit the edge of the board. That gives me the indication where I'm going. And you can see that my strip is just about the right size. You don't want it too big because you're wasting material. You don't want it too small because you sling sawdust everywhere on the opposite side of the blade. It also will try to deflect your blade if you don't have material on both sides of the blade. And now we're going to make our adjustable shelf rib cut. And just as we were using our forklift as a scissors lift to slide the material off, so we're also going to lose it as a scissors lift to return our off fall when we're not going to cut it up back to it. And now we're going to cross cut. You see me clear the table with the blowy thingy that keeps any material from getting trapped between the part and the rip fence when we slide it over for the cut. Drawer bottoms, we've ripped them to width. Now we're cross-cutting them to length. Mark each one individually. I'm setting them on the cart with a good side up, score side down, or bad side down. These last two are roll-out tray bottoms. A roll-out tray is nothing more than a drawer with a melamine front instead of a wood front. It tucks in just behind the doors. As soon as I finish cross-cutting these, I'm going to quickly set the saw up to groove these bottoms to receive the grass Zargan drawer system